Hello all. In this video, we'll be dealing with constructors and destructors in C++. What are constructors? Constructors are the member functions with the same name as its class. It bears the same name as the class name. And these constructors are usually used to initialize the objects of that particular class with legal initial values. And of course, they do not have any return type. And constructors are called automatically whenever a program creates an object of that class. And they cannot be inherited. But a derived class can call the base class constructor. When we deal with inheritance, we'll go with this details in a detailed manner. And a constructor may not be static. And of course, the memory address of a constructor can't be taken. That is why we say constructor may not be static. A static variable usually shares its value with all the objects. As we cannot take the memory address of a constructor, they cannot be static. Hope you understood. What is the need for constructors? First, let us see the example program. Class student, int roll number, float marks. So there are two data members available here. And under the public section, you can see void init. That is, this is the member function. And this member function gives the values for the data members here. You can see roll number equal to 1007, marks equal to 90.6. And if you notice in the main function, we are creating an object for that class S1. And in the next statement, S1.initOf. So with this, we can initialize the data members with the values. But what is the need for constructors? Let us go with the explanation. If you notice here, this init function has to be explicitly called by the programmer. So we can say the responsibility of initializing the values for the data members lies in the hands of the programmer. But just imagine a situation if the programmer forgets to write this statement, that is the function call statement. What will happen? The data members will be full of garbage values, and this may create problems in your program. Just imagine if the responsibility is given to the compiler, this problem will be solved very easily. So that can be done only if the initialization function bears the same name as the class name. So that is called constructor. Hope you are clear with the need for constructors. Let's go with the types of constructors. Three types, that is default constructor, parameterized constructor, copy constructor. In this example, I'll be explaining about a default and parameterized, and in the next slide, we go in detail with copy constructor. Just see the example. Class student, two data members are there, and another public section, student, that is without any return type. It is written, this class name is written along with a pair of parentheses. This is default constructor. And of course, it is initializing the data members with the values. And here if you see student, int r, float m. So there are two parameters. It is parameterized constructor. Of course, the initialization is done in the way data member equal to the parameter. That's why roll number is equal to r, marks is equal to m. And the values of these r and m will come from the calling function. Now we move on to this member function void print. It prints the value given for roll number and marks. Let's go with the main program. Student S1, first object is created. And this S1 has no parameters here. So the default constructor will be invoked. And for the object S1, roll number value will be 1001 and the marks will be 90.7. And after that, S2 object will be created with the values 1002 and 87.6. And you can easily understand this 1002 will be passed to R and this 87.6 will be passed to M. So inside the parameterized constructor, if you notice roll number equal to R, it means roll number is equal to 1002. and marks is equal to M. So marks is equal to here 87.6. And after this statement, S1 dot print off. So with the object S1, what are the values we have already given? 1001 and 90.7. So this print function will be executed, and roll number 1001, marks 90.7. That will be the output, first output. And then it comes back to the main function. Here we are calling S2 dot print off. So the values for the object S2, what are the values? 1002 and 87.6. So these values will get printed by invoking this function. And the main function is over. I hope you have understood. Now coming to copy constructor. So with the name itself, you can easily identify copy constructor. So it copies the values of one object to another object. Very simple. And then we'll go with in detail. See how we should write a copy constructor. In the form class name, within parenthesis class name ampersand. You know this ampersand is called as a memory reference operator. This copy constructor will be invoked whenever we initialize an instance, that is an object, using the values of another instance, that is another object of the same class. See the example, you can easily understand. Of course, class student, 2 data members, and the public section, one default constructor is being defined here with the values roll number 1001, marks 90.7. And if you notice here, this is the copy constructor. Student, ampersand, yes. So this is a memory reference operator. So the body of the copy constructor says roll number equal to s dot roll number. That is, this s is used here. Marks is equal to s dot marks. And of course, the print function is written here. And coming to the main function, student s1. So first object is created. There are no parameters. So automatically default constructor will get invoked and have the values 1001 for roll number, 90.7 for marks. And it comes here S2 of S1. So the values of S1 will be copied to S2. This is mere understanding how it goes. Whenever it sees like this, the values of S1 object comes here. That is student ampersand yes. So the same memory location. It is giving an alias name called yes. And here within the body of copy constructor, roll number equal to s dot roll number. So what will be the value? 1001. Marks is equal to s dot marks. What will be the value? 90.7. So S2 object will also have the same values of S1. And then if you notice S3, one object is created, of course immediately the default constructor will get invoked and the values will be there. And if you see in the next line, S3 equal to S2. S2 has already values, so these values will be copied to S3. This is another way of invoking a copy constructor. And of course S1 dot print, S2 dot print off, we are invoking with the object names. So the same output will be coming here if you notice in this example. Hope you have understood fully. Now we move on to destructors. What is a destructor? It is also a member function. It would deinitialize the objects when they go out of scope. That is, after the usage of memory, it frees the memory space so that the other objects can be using those memory locations. Just for effective use of memory, destructors are there, and destructors they will not take any arguments, and of course they do not return any value. And what is the format of writing a destructor is the symbol tilde along with the class name. You can see the example, same example here. See if you notice here, it is tilde student of. So this is the destructor. Just a message is being printed here. Hope you are all clear. Thank you for listening.